We should not be lending California money. Sorry, I don't think. Would you lend them? If you were a bank, would you lend them the money? Do they have that kind of credit score? Really? Do they have a 700 credit score? Are they able to even put 20% down? And if they default on that, what do we get in return? Because I'll take a beach or two. As the United States, I say we free California. We start down at the border. We start in San Diego. Okay, good. You got 2 years to pay that back. You didn't pay it back? Great. We take San Diego County. Oh, you didn't pay that back? Good. We take Anaheim. And it just becomes property of the United States and no longer California. I don't know. We give it to Arizona. I don't know who we give it to, but enough with California. They are now taking the one-time cash payments of $500. So they're taking our money and giving $500 one time to all illegal immigrants. Okay, are you okay with this? Because I'm definitely not. Again, I go back to Nancy Pelosi where she said, there's other ways the government is going to bail people out. We don't need tax cuts. No, tax cuts are the most immediate. They're the most immediate, and they go to everybody. There's no picking and choosing, and nobody in power that's deciding what to do. That's why they don't like it, because they need someone in power. And what a tax cut does, it empowers you to spend your money the way you think it will most help. It's your money. I urge the president to declare the United States of America an economic empowerment zone. If we had economic empowerment zones, the entire country, I think we would, maybe do some good. What it does is it is designed to aid and lift communities out of poverty. And what do? They don't dump a bunch of money in. They relieve people of many of the federal restrictions on businesses. And if you're creating jobs, you can count that against your taxes. Why can't we do this? It makes. Have you ever heard of Shinola? Shinola is this great company out of Detroit because Detroit became an economic empowerment zone. And so what happens is they get extra tax benefits for going into these places and creating jobs. They also get relief on some of the federal standards, et cetera, et cetera. Why aren't we doing that to the United States? Why? Because they don't trust you. They don't trust business. They don't trust small business. They'll trust GE till the cows come home. They'll trust Citicorp. They'll trust Wells frickin' Fargo till the cows come home. They'll trust the state of California, but not you. Donald Trump, please, economic empowerment zones. Make all 50 states economic empowerment zones. You immediately cut all of the regulation. You immediately give tax cuts to everybody who's creating a job. You don't have to have you don't need anybody to give pick and choose tax cuts. The people who have money to invest to create jobs, people who are just barely on the edge, they'll be able to open their stuff back up, and for jobs created, they'll be able to write that off on taxes. That is fantastic. Sounds like it's too logical, doesn't it? Sounds like something that we just can't. Well, let me just stop here. Do you think if the House and the Senate wanted to find out if Tara Reade's names were in the records, do you think if it was Adam Schiff and the perpetrator was Donald Trump, we could find anything? they would have those records literally by hook or by crook. No, they can't. They just can't open up those records in the House and the Senate. And boy, would they like to? Yes, they would. But they got some rules that they just can't. Who's actually fighting for you? Who's actually fighting for the Republic? Nobody, it seems, because we are acting like sheep, because we are afraid. Look, as I said in January, we're all going to get this. We've all had the 1918 pandemic. We've all had it. It's the flu that goes around every year. That's where it started. We got it. We're all going to get coronavirus. How come we're not talking about fat people? And I say this as a proud fat man. Fat people have a very good chance of really having real damage done by the coronavirus. If you're in shape, you're young, what the hell are you doing at home? How come we're wearing masks? Why are we wearing masks? Why are we being told to wear masks all the time? Because it helps keep us afraid. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.